and welcome to today's video. So this time I'm going to be taking a look through the great Pan books that I was missing from my collection, which turned up in that mega collection I bought recently. So these are all the sort of the gaps that were filled, and boy oh boy, there's lots and lots to get through. So I'm going to just zoom through because I have already covered what was in my collection up to Great Pan number 400. So this is everything that was missing in between them, and yeah, there's a fair few books in here to zoom through. So that was number 11. This is GP14, a John Buckham, Green Mantle. Some of these, of course, are now editions and they're reprints. So the book has already been printed once before as a normal number Pan, and then Pan have re-released it, usually with a different price and sometimes with a different cover. So there's like 2 copies of that one there. I'm not 100% sure why I've kept 2 copies of it, so let's just double check. So that's the first 1954. Simply, it's a priced and unpriced copy. So yeah, it's exactly the same. It's still a first print, but that's a really good example there of a priced and unpriced book. Pan did that quite a lot. Sometimes they're for export. And that could be the reason why. This is GP29. Some of these, like that one, not exactly the greatest of conditions, is it? However, I'm not too worried because at least I've got the number now, and I can always get an upgrade down the line. So as I've been through these, I've been recording my collection and filling in the blanks. So thankfully, after that mega collection that I bought, I'm now down to needing less than 100 Great Pans for the whole set now, which would be a great achievement. I've certainly not got so many of the Pan Giants, the X series, but I'm well on my way to having a nice little run of those. But all of these have never been shown before, and that's why I'm doing it now. As we go along, I'm going to need to keep pulling out, so let's just pause it there. Here we are, GP61, King Solomon's Ring. Actually an animal book, that one. And I was really, really delighted to get so many of these. It was just fantastic. Sort of thing that would only ever happen once in a lifetime, really. GP62 there. So this is the sort of thing, a title like this, GP64, Your Baby and You, very, very scarce. I mean, really, really scarce. It's the only sort of thing that would turn up if you're a collector, basically collecting an actual publisher, which is what I do. So 66 there, nice Western. Almost photographic cover, that one, by Pef, The Long Haul. Great, isn't it? Definitely one of my favourite fan cover artists. So this one, bit of a shame, it's got a big like 5p on it, like it's been remaindered, but apart from that, it's quite a solid copy. But once again, that's going to need an upgrade at some point. Then others are really, like, this is very, you could almost say this was unread, it's just aged now. A lot of these, they started in the late 1940s, this is 1957. Like the numbered series, I've tried to get the early ones first. Another great Pef cover there, portrait. Admiral Canaris. Now, I was surprised I didn't have this one. It's an RAF one. I know they're collected in their own right, but most of the Pan War issues sold very, very well. And, you know, they're usually the most common ones to come across. That's an absolutely cracking cover, that one, isn't it? Yeah, they're usually the easiest to find. But there you go. It's really good to see some of these, which I've only ever seen sort of scans of on Tim's website. Once again, that one, I had a copy of it, but it wasn't a first edition, it was the reprint, so pleased to get a Christie that I didn't have. So yes, seeing some of these in the flesh is always fantastic. Another nice Pef one. Sadly, it's missing the top edge there, but it's okay. I'm not going to complain because, as I said, in a lot of cases, I'm just happy to have these. Another one which is going to need a bit of upgrading, but for the time being, it's going to stay in the collection as a number filler. A ring at the door. Always makes me laugh, these sort of medical related pan books. Another very, very scarce one, I would imagine. And the same author as Your Baby and You and Your Child. This is like the next step onwards. And they, in fact, are the two side by side. I would say both of those are super scarce, but probably not valuable. You know, they're just scarce in that hard to come across. This was Great Pan 100, A Flag in the City. Let's just move these around a little bit further before I need to pull the camera out again. Give us this day. So obviously I will carry on once I've got the rest of the pan collection sorted, which I have now done in actual fact. I've gone through all the great pans, all the giants. You've seen all the numbered ones. Another great cover. And I've also done the pan majors, the E's and the T's, and a few miscellaneous bits and bobs. So in actual fact, the pan collection is all done. Now, I will resume going through the collection properly from Great Pan 400 upwards. And lots of new books that were added to my existing collection. They'll just be seen for the first time in those future videos. I've been having the books from the collection that were doubles. Beautiful cover, that, isn't it? Pef again. Yes, so some of the doubles have been selling on eBay now. They're going all around the world, as far as Australia, New Zealand, America. Certain people collecting certain authors. See all the James Bond, the Agatha Christies, the Simon Templars, you know, the Saint books. They've all been quite sought after. I'm onto some of the other authors now, like Earl Stanley Gardner, J.J. Marrick, people like that, Josephine Tay. There's so many great authors in there. 125 here, slightly worn copy. Shirley. Casualty. So one bit of advice I gave my someone who contacted me looking to buy some books, I said, go on to Tim's website, ticket.net, and have a look through all the books on there, because they're pretty much, everything's been scanned in, and you can use it as a resource and see what you fancy, because that particular collector was looking for like classic 50s and 60s crime titles, of which Pan did rather a lot. So he was a bit sport for choice. Nice copy of that one. See, that's virtually mint and unread, that one. So very, very pleased with some of these. I mean, they're just fantastic. However, the ones that I'm missing, well, I don't know how easy they're going to be to get my hands on, but I'm going to keep trying. Nice John Ross MacDonald here. And so many of these, I thought, oh, these looks great. I just got to read them myself, you know. Certainly pleased to find a few more Westerns in the Pan range. I think that's not great condition, but the Pan Westerns in particular seem to be, I think, quite sought after. When they do turn up, they're not in great shape. Loads more Erskine Caldwell. There's lots of doubles as well, so I was able to upgrade a lot of my own copies. Another great Pef cover there. Another one there, really nice and bright. This must look great on the shelf, you know. Oh, to have a time machine, eh, and go back to bookshops where these are all on display. Nice Patricia Highsmith there. Another great author if you've never read her. Riot. Carter Dixon there, H.M. Really nice and bright. Skeleton in the Clock. Look at that. Brilliant, isn't it? Really nice and vibrant. Classic sort of late 50s, 1958. Now I've been through the whole collection. I was really, really hoping that I might have come across a signed copy or two, but there wasn't a single signed Pan in there, which I was really disappointed by. When I bought Big Penguin collections in the past, I've usually had one or two sort of signed copies have turned up in there, and I've certainly got a few in my collection that are signed, but I have got some signed Pans, quite a few signed by Pef, which I've recently discovered. Some I didn't even know I got signed. I'd forgotten about it, so they'll be coming up in future videos. And some Bond bits and bobs signed up, which is quite nice. Pacifico deal. Good stuff, isn't it? Makes Kon-Tiki look like a picnic. A couple more, and then I'm going to pull the camera out. Stone Cold Dead in the Market. So this one came out in the late 1950s. About 4 or 5 years later, there was a Man from Uncle paperback called The Stone Cold Dead in the Market Affair. So I wonder if they pinched the title from that. And there we are, Killing Ground, and that's number 184, Elliston and Trevor. So anyway, that's the first half. Zip through in record time. I'm going to pull the camera out. We're going to look at the next part. Okay then, so carrying on, we've got G185, Over My Dead Body, by June Opie. Another one of those medical ones. There's so many of them, isn't there? Pan published, The Barbarian and the Geisha. This is a movie that starred John Wayne. There he is there. This movie tie-in. The Spiked Heel, Richard Marston. Another nice Western there. Great cover as well. The Deadliest Killer in the West. Brilliant. Sabotage is suspected. Awesome stuff. Yes, if you fancy getting some of my spares, of which I've got approximately 500, which I've got through, I've perhaps sold less than a quarter so far, so there's probably a lot still there that you might need. You can always drop me an email to get some direct. So my email address, I'll pop on the screen now, but it's julesburt@gmail.com, so nice and easy. I am also selling some doubles on eBay under the user ID Zap Retro, and I would imagine I'm going to be doing that for the next 6 months or so. So even if you're watching this one in early 2021, I wouldn't worry. There's probably still copies I'm getting through because it's going to take some time. I've also got a whole box of 4 square books now. I collect 4 square. Not as passionately as Penguin or Pan by any means, but there's a lot in there, and there's quite a lot of doubles as well. So if you've done 4 square books, then they will be of interest to you. Here we are, 217. This is The Saint and Mr. Teal. Battle for the Mind. The Mechanics of Indoctrination, Brainwashing, and Thought Control. Blimey. Greta, another Erskine, A Woman Obsessed. Errol Stanley, Gardner, The Case of the Fiery Fingers. Look at the fiery fingers on the cover there. I mean, that's not a bad copy, but imagine a really, really brand new mint one. How those fiery fingers would have popped, eh? Morris West, The Big Story. Guns Up, The End of the Kid, Death of a Legend. Maybe that's something about Billy the Kid, maybe. Dust and the Curious Boy. A tough thriller which punches home with every line. Wow. Let's move them over there. Another John Wayne cover. Another movie tie-in. The Horse Soldiers, a thundering story of the Civil War. John Wayne and William Holden. Nor the Moon by Night. Joy Packer. The Grand Duchess. Well, this is a nice tight copy. Circles Round the Wagon, Fred Gibson. Another movie tie-in. Stuart Whitman and Dennis Holmes in a scene from the film version of this book. Yeah, that looks almost unread, that one. Oh, I'd love all my books to be mint and unread so that I could delve in for the first time. It's a nice jacket. Pef did so many, didn't he? 7 Days to Never, Pat Frank. I think also part of the attraction of the pans is they look so good even spine on. As I said, these were just the ones that I was missing up to number 400. Great Pan 400. I've got lots more after that to show you. Very good. Lovely jacket, that one. Trouble in July. I think I've got enough to cover all the Erskine Caldwell, so I think I've got every single one in pan now. And most of them really nice copies as well. I'll make a interesting video. Boney buys a woman. So I have got a few plans. Once I've gone through my collection, I'm going to go back and go through and like do sort of subject videos. So I'm going to do like all the pan movie and TV tie-ins. I think that might be quite interesting. Then I'm going to have a look at the pan westerns. Then I'm going to do some more author-specific pan videos. I've done one on Fleming. I've done one on Agatha Christie. Here we are. There's another one. So once again, he might be another author I do like a special video on all the Earl Stanley Gardner ones. Incidentally, speaking of Agatha Christie, Nicholas Blake here, my finished article on Agatha Christie in Pan Books has recently been printed in the latest issue of the American magazine Paperback Parade, and that's actually available to order. And I shall just go, as I reset the camera, just go and grab my contributor's copy of that one. So here's the latest issue of Paperback Parade, number 108. Been going a very long time, this one. And as you can see, it's sporting a rather nice Agatha Christie cover. This one comes in a dust wrapper because there was a misprint actually in the printers. However, when you get to the good stuff, the Agatha Christie article, here we are, is quite extensive. So it's got lots of scans. It took me a long time to do a lot of them. So scans there shows lots of the different editions of the Agatha Christie's, warts and all. And hopefully it's one that you'll like to add to your paperback library. As well as that, it's got lots of other articles as well, which I think you'll find interesting. So certainly pop that on your wants list. You can get these direct from the website, so gryphonbooks.com. They're also under that name on eBay, so Gryphon Books. So do look out for that, or just Google Paperback Parade, and you will find it because it's very, very good, and certainly it's got an Agatha Christie in Pan Books article. So what more could you want, eh? Okay. Another Leslie Charteris here, The Saint's Getaway. Can't be many of those I'm missing, to be honest. I do enjoy a Saint book. Catherine Hulme, The Wild Place. She looks quite old and craggy, doesn't she? On to the last stack now. Alan Burgess, a small one. Once again, I had this one, but it was in a reprint. The Devil to Pay, Ellery Queen. Pan didn't do too many Ellery Queens, but the ones they did are quite sought after, I've since found. So very glad to get that one. Pillars of Midnight, Elliston and Trevor. Another great Pan one. Wish I had a better copy of that one. Moment of Danger. One thing I was slightly disappointed to find in the collection was there was only a couple of Pan books of horror stories, which I really do like, and I've got all the early ones and really nice copies, but some of the later ones I was hoping to find were not in there. But there you go. Charles Williams. Certainly some nice ghost stories. That's a nice cover, isn't it? The Doomsters. Nice sort of design with the eyes there. When was this one published? 1960. That was his second book in Pan. The Bachelor's Baby. Red for Danger, LTC Rolt. Disaster on the Line, a vivid and dramatic record of British railway accidents. Oh dear, you wouldn't want to read that on the train, would you? Let's be honest. The Case of the Lucky Legs. Look, her legs, they're so lucky. Earl Stanley Gardner. Forever Tomorrow. Obviously, Pan did every genre, whatever sold, including romance. John Bingham, Marion. In fact, some of their romance titles are amongst their scarcest and some of them most collectible. Crime of Passion, Crim Passional. Doesn't look very impressed, does he? Last handful now. The Passionate City, Ian Stuart Black. I must look this up because Ian Stuart Black wrote a few Doctor Who stories back in the 1960s, so maybe he went on to work in TV. Please Don't Eat the Daisies. This is another film tie. Doris Day and David Niven there. Can't recall ever seeing the movie, to be honest. But there you go. I said Pan did a few movie tie-ins for sure. Headed for a Hearse. Oh dear. Another Erskine Caldwell. Claudel. Great jacket. They've all got a very, very similar art style. Last few. Cabbage Holiday, Anthony Thorne, the deliciously spiced story of the impact on rural England of a madame from Paris. How dare she? Great one, that. Hound of Death, and Agatha Christie I didn't have, so always a welcome addition. So I'm not sure if this was a first in Pan or if it was a reprint with a different jacket. No, that was the first time that was in Pan. 1960, that one. The Door with 7 Locks. Edgar Wallace. He had a few in Pan, didn't he? Arcada, and Duffield, romance one. And the last one under number 400 that I didn't have from the collection was this one, which was There's No Home, Alexander Barron, and that was number 390. And that's set in Sicily during the war. So there you go. So I hope you have enjoyed this little look at these Pan book editions. There's certainly some great books in there, and I, for one, am very pleased to get so many in one hit. It's just, heaven, absolute heaven. So that's it for today. Do look out for some more Pan videos in the future. Obviously, we've only done the great Pans up to number 400. They go up to like about 700 and a bit, 740, something like that. So there's going to be another couple of videos post 400 of all the rest of them, of which there's a lot. And then we'll be moving on to the Pan Giants and then some of the other series as well. If you have enjoyed today's video, do please give it a thumbs up. Do please consider subscribing for regular vintage paperback content, as well as Pans and Penguins. I do cover other paperback publishers as well, as I get time. So, there's plenty on the channel already, and there'll be plenty more for you going forward. Thank you very much for watching today, and I shall look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.